Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to a final pre-season roundup. This time is a win. This time is a win 4-2 against Chelsea. Of course, it's now going to be a week before our next game, which is Manchester United in the Community Shield. I'm so ready for the return of normal football. I'm growing quite tired of the fanfare and the lightning strikes of pre-season. It's so many delays, and I'm ready for the real stuff to kick in now. I feel like we're in a very good spot after pre-season. Some encouraging performances despite the losses, and now a win with another, again, pretty encouraging performance. I'm going to break it down, talk about a few things, maybe touch on pre-season as a whole, because of course there were a few players that featured heavily. Some players who had their stock rise, some players who maybe didn't impress when they got given the chance. So I'm here to break that down. I will obviously touch on this game first because it was, just happened and it's the latest one, and I've gone through the rest. But before I do break this game down, if you do me a massive favour and please leave a like on this video, it'd be massively appreciated, and subscribe if you are new. On the road to 10k, but let's just get into it, man, because, look, it's a win. It's our first and only win of pre-season. As long as you don't count the Community Shield as pre-season, although it kind of basically is a glorified friendly, maybe slightly different because it is a derby. But I won't dwell too much on that. This was our final game of proper pre-season. And again, some really, really encouraging signs. I think we were really, really good with our pressing in terms of just an overall, analysing the team as a whole, not just individuals. I thought some of our creative play was outstanding. I thought we created a significant amount of chances. And again, our pressing was basically got us all of our goals, because although you can credit it down to Chelsea just giving us the ball and passing it back to us, we still had to press, and we still had to force them into an error, and we forced them into numerous errors, even ones that we didn't score off of. We still forced them into errors. So our pressing was really good. Everyone was on the same wavelength. You could see the slow progression through pre-season of the team getting better and players getting, minutes in and, building up some match sharpness. You could see it happening, and I think today was kind of the culmination of that. You can see that, players like Haaland, he was on it, scored a hat-trick. Oscar Bobb, again, another great performance from him. Grealish looked good. McAtee looked good. Who else? Calvin Phillips at centre-back looked good again. I'm not going to dwell on him because I think I said enough in the last game. Who else looked really good? Ortega pulled off a few really good saves as well. Like, there was a number of decent performances, and I think that is just obviously natural with pre-season progressing. Of course, maybe the first couple of players that I want to touch on a little bit more. I'll go with Haaland first. He did score a hat-trick after maybe a little scare, I guess we could call it. After we played Barcelona, there was a small knock. He had a few problems, and it was kind of, will he be fit to start the last game of pre-season? How bad is it? He played 78 minutes. I think it was 78. I think that's when he was taken off. He played 75 to 80 minutes of football, which for a player who was doubtful before the game even started, he puts that to bed, and he's fully ready. Hat-trick. Including 2 penalties, because for some reason he had to retake. Was it a penalty in the first place? Don't think so. Did he need to retake it? Don't think so. Don't really care. And again, his other chances were pretty much on the plate because we forced, Chelsea to give the ball away in a very dangerous position. Second one, really composed, takes a touch around the defender, on his weaker right foot, still doesn't matter, picks out the corner. That's what you want from Haaland. You want him to be in the dangerous areas, and he's getting picked out, he's getting serviced. That third, our third and fourth goals were just, I think, with the pick of the bunch, to be honest, they were our better 2 goals. With some of the link up, the one-touch passing play. The Oscar Bobb goal, I'll speak about Oscar Bobb in a second. That was probably the best one of the game. But again, ball from McAtee. McAtee, again, good performance. He got 2 assists. Both of our second goals, Oscar Bobb and Haaland's hat-trick. He got 2 assists, so his stock's gone up. We got word from Pep after the game in his press conference that James McAtee and Nico O'Reilly are going to be part of the first team next season, which I think is justified. I think it's a very, very justified reward for a good pre-season showing from both of them. Because 2 different players. There's obviously been talk of Nico O'Reilly potentially being able to play as a 6. Guardiola said that himself. We know he likes McAtee in the pockets of space that, is something that we may lack in the squad. So we kind of know the plan for those two is kind of, keep them in and around the first team and use them, sparingly, but still use them, still have them as an option, which again, I think is warranted after a good preseason. And then we move on to Oscar Bobb, which I guess he's the biggest winner of preseason for me because, to start the season, at least at the very start, considering you look at our other wingers, Grealish was on the other side, he was in preseason. Savio's got no preseason minutes. Bernardo Silva's got no preseason minutes. Phil Foden's got no preseason minutes. We don't know, when Phil Foden's even going to return because, of course, he was in the final of the Euros, so he might be a late return. He might not even make the Community Shield. I genuinely don't know. Be interested to know on that one. But for me, Oscar Bobb has to start the season on the right. I think he has to start. I know we've just signed Savio and everyone's very excited about him, but Oscar Bobb has earned the trust to start the season. Community Shield, first game against Chelsea. I think he should. I really think he should. And I think it should be up to someone like Savio to then go and take that place off him. I think that should be the case, even though, again, everyone's excited for Savio, so am I. And he'll probably down the line end up getting that place or, getting starts in that place to prove he deserves to play more. But to start the season, it should be Oscar Bobb because that goal today was incredible. Goal was incredible. He was on it all game. Again, his close control, his dribbling, he's able to beat his man pretty much with ease. If he's 1v1, pray for the defender because he's probably going to get past him. He's got great feet in tight spaces. And the goal is just composure through the legs of the defender, near post, catches the goalkeeper out. I guess if I was to do a compare and contrast, because his name has been thrown about a little bit with the rumours of him going out and the links out of the club. But if you take Julian Alvarez, for example, how many times has Alvarez been, in a position to score and just absolutely rifled it? Just put everything behind the ball and tried to smash the goal, tried to burst the net, tried to rip a hole in the net. That's his style of finishing, which, don't get me wrong, it's effective, but maybe in that sort of situation, it's not. You needed calmness and composure, and Oscar Bobb has that. So, again, he's probably the biggest winner of pre-season, and he would be my choice to start the season on the right-hand side. I think the front three that we had in pre-season should be the front three that starts the season. They're the most prepared. They've had the pre-season, and it should be up to the others around them, your Savios, your Dokus, Bernardos, etc., to go and take that position off them. They should be on them to prove that they deserve to start instead because they should be rewarded for a good pre-season showing because that's what pre-season's about. If you're going to reward Nico O'Reilly and James McAtee with places in the first team squad, I think you reward Oscar Bobb with a start at the start of the season. So that's kind of it for that game. I think you can look at other players like Joshua Wilson-Esbrand had a much better game. I was very critical in the first game about his performance, but I think, again, I kind of put that down to he's never really played as an inverted fullback before. That's not been his game. And you can see, again, as pre-season's gone along, as he's played there more, as he's learnt more, he's got more comfortable in that position. Unfortunately, he had to come off with the injury. Don't know how bad it is. But again, you could see the progression. You could see he was learning where to position himself. His positional sense was much, much better, and he's getting more used to that position. So he was really good today. Again, I've already said Ortega was good. Loads of good performances. 4-2, maybe slightly harsh. Chelsea kind of had a couple of opportunities. Ortega pulled off some decent saves. I'm not too bothered about the score. Even if we would have lost, I still would have been satisfied. I think attacking play this whole pre-season has not been a problem. It was just kind of defensively, and that's bound to happen when you have players that have never played before, a lot of young players in the defence, you've got players playing out of position, all that sort of thing. So it's a successful pre-season, in my opinion. How confident am I for the start of the season? I'm pretty confident because, that Chelsea team, if you just look and, compare lineups, that was a pretty senior Chelsea team. That is what potentially could be an actual Chelsea starting 11 in the Premier League. You could see that Chelsea 11 play together in the Premier League. You will not see this City team play together in the Premier League. This team will not be seen. The starting 11 that we had will not be seen. And we beat Chelsea, who, albeit under a new manager, a few new signings, that is a realistic team. So that's probably the biggest thing that I'm happy about, is the fact that we've played really well against a Chelsea side that was, there or thereabouts in terms of a lineup for the actual season. So that's unbelievable for me. I really think that, you know, a few weeks in, maybe when we get some players back, we should really kick on. And again, I'm just really happy that some of the young players have got an opportunity, and, you know, they're going to be rewarded for their good performances with places in the first team. I think it's totally justified. And, you know, maybe it's changed some minds about signings, who knows? But again, like I said, pre-season's over. I'm pretty confident to start the season. You let me know how confident you are in the comment section below. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks very much for watching. If you do me a massive favour on your way out, please leave a like on this video. It'll be massively appreciated. And subscribe if you are new. We're on the road to 10k. This is the final video of pre-season. Couple of streams in the week, maybe, if there is news to talk about. And then all gearing towards Manchester United at Wembley. So hopefully we'll see you with some brand new content very soon.